Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. Thank you for joining me today. So today, by popular request, I only have a half a dozen videos out at this point, but in every single one of them, somebody's asking me or sending me a message if I have tested out the new Feynlab Rinseless version 3. So today we're going to do just that. Now I bought this when I think it might have first come out, so I've had it for probably a couple months now. But there's been a bunch of other products that I have been testing since then or in the interim that were more important to me than testing this. But with everybody wondering, I figured let's give it a shot. So the first thing that I want to mention before I go any further with this, I bought the 5-liter jug here. And if you've bought a lot of stuff online from whatever vendor, whether or not you're buying from Carzilla or Clean Garage or Obsessed Garage or Rag Company, anywhere else, there's always a risk that some of those products will leak during shipping. So a lot of the companies, they'll tape up the bottles, you'll take the tape off, and even then, some of the times the stuff still leaks out. I have to say, this thing was absolutely insane and hard to open. There was no chance of leaking. For example, the big cap here had a thing around it that you have to break off in order to even get it open, number one. And then once you open it, there's a plug that you have to pull out before you even get to the product. So it is, and not only that, but this cap was on there so tight that I had to actually get a pair of channel locks to remove it. So kudos to Feynlab for making a shipping-friendly container. Now, having gotten that out of the way, guys, a few things going on here. There was the 5-liter container that I just showed you, and then they also have a 1-liter container. 1 liter is roughly 33.8 ounces or 34 ounces roughly. And it has, the way it comes is you squeeze the bottle and it has a little measuring container that measures out 1 ounce at the top. So you squeeze the bottle, it goes to 1 ounce exactly, you dump it out, and then if you need another ounce, you squeeze it again, you get another ounce. And there's a little measuring on there that says ½ ounce, etc. So that there's no guesswork at all. You squeeze it and it comes out. You don't need separate little measuring cups or anything like that. So on the 1 liter squeeze, I guess I'll call it a jug or a container, from the Feynlab website, as of the date of this recording, this is now end of May 2024, it is $22.40 for that 1 liter container, or roughly 66 cents an ounce. If you buy it, they sell it on Amazon too, which is awesome because it's free shipping, prime shipping. I think it's not 2-day. To me anyway, when I just looked it up, it wasn't 2-day. And it's only about $1 more, so it's $23.58 as of the time of this recording, or roughly 70 cents an ounce. So an extra 4 cents an ounce for that container from Amazon, but you're gonna get it right away. And if you have Prime, you're gonna get it pretty fast. And I'll have a link to Amazon below. Now, if you get the 5-liter container like I just had, on the Feynlab site, it is $68.09. I don't know how they came up with that number, but it averages out to 40 cents an ounce plus whatever you got to pay for shipping. I can't remember. I think I got a discount, so with the shipping, it was roughly $70 or maybe 75 bucks. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. But if you go to Amazon, $98.59, so it's far less economical on Amazon. In fact, if you're going to get the 5-liter, order from Feynlab direct, pay for that shipping. It'll work out. It's way better. Even on Amazon though, 58 cents an ounce at the $98 price, 58 cents an ounce, so you mix up a 4-gallon batch, you're only at $1.20. So even then, it's still a great deal. But from Feynlab, $68.09, 40 cents an ounce, you can't beat that. A 4-ounce or a 2-ounce wash in a 4-gallon bucket of water, only 80 cents, guys. How can you beat that? You can use that for 3-4 cars. A 4-gallon 4-gallon wash that's a lot. So you could get a lot of cars out of those 2 ounces of product. Anyway, let's get into the dilution ratios now. Because Feynlab says you could use this 4 different ways. So what they have is that you can use it as a rinseless wash. Rinseless wash is 1 to 250. I don't know why it's not 1 to 256. Maybe it's just a typo. 1 to 250, which is roughly 2 ounces per 2 gallon, or 2 ounces per 4 gallons, or 1 ounce per 2 gallon. As a clay lube, 1 to 64, which is 1 ounce per half gallon. As a waterless wash, 1 to 125. However, what they do say, listed on their website, they say 2 ounces per gallon. So that conflicts a little bit with what they say their waterless wash dilution ratio is at 1 to 125, because at 2 ounces per gallon, that's 1 to 64. So I think there was just a little bit of confusion there. Maybe they'll fix it. As of the time of this recording, I just looked at their website. That's what it says. Now, the other thing too is what they say is you could use it as a spot cleaner. So for example, you have those bird droppings on your car, 1 to 16 dilution ratio. So if you have a nice size 32 ounce spray bottle, 32 ounces water, 2 ounces of product, you're right in there. You can save it, mix it up, use, what am I thinking of? Distilled water, purified water, and it'll last you months. Use it as that little touch-up spray, so to speak. Now, what they say on their website here is that it's an advanced polymeric cleaning technology, all right, that is gentle for use on all exterior surfaces. They also say that it's ceramic coating maintenance, which, as we know, that's what we want from all rinseless washes, and we want it to be safe on even bare paint. So they also claim that with proper storage and care in a climate-controlled environment, that it has a 2-year shelf life. Now, what they do say, though, is that it's such a good cleaner that it could remove less durable waxes and sealants on your car. Now, and you've seen me waving this around, I want to say this is some of the best instructions from any company I've seen out there, because they actually have a PDF file that you could download. It's 3 pages. So it goes over everything. It goes over their product description, even has their approved surfaces for use. Now, other products out there say that you could use it on the interior. This one is only, they say, exterior use only. Now, they also have a little asterisk in here, and it says, the use of Feynlab products on any surface not explicitly listed on the instruction booklet is done at the user's own risk. If damage occurs to the surface as a result of using the product on an unlisted surface, we will not be held liable for such damage. Now, if you go to their, and it literally says here, do not apply to unapproved surfaces. Now, if you go to their website, they have a warranty section in their website, and it says approved automotive brands. There's a table 1 here, and basically it lists all the different automotive brands, and it's everything from Chevrolet to Hyundai, like I got back here, but there's Jaguar, Maserati, Maybach, Lamborghini, Porsche, Mercedes. They're pretty much all listed. I'm not sure that I noticed anything that was actually missing from this list. So, having said that, and like I said, I just opened this. It's been sitting on the shelf. So we're going to test it out today, and we're going to try 3 different methods. So we're going to do, again, as you saw in the last video, the Hero from Armor Detail Supply. We're going to use our Autofiber Double Flip towels. These are listed at, I believe, 11 or 1200 GSM. They're really thick. So we're going to do this. Then we're also going to use, they have a plush, Autofiber also has a plush towel. Now this one I actually got on special. They're not even selling this one anymore. This is their Duo Plush 600. They now have a 700. So we're going to test this because a lot of you guys don't want to buy special stuff. You have your maybe Eagle 500, something like that. This is a 600, so we're going to test this. Then we're going to test we have our dedicated sponge again from the Rag Company, the Ultra Safe Sponge. And just because everybody again is always asking me why I'm not using it or what the best sponge is, we have our, in fact it's dripping here because it was in the wash, we have our DIY Detail Legacy sponge. And if you're wondering why I don't use this for every rinseless, this is what the red side looks like. All right, you can see the red, and if I go like this, I should have squeezed this out, but if I go like this, you could see the red in there. This turned black from testing Labo Cosmetica, guys, so that's why I'm hesitant to use one sponge with multiple different products, because I want to be able to show everybody if something happens to my sponge. I want to be able to show you what's going on. But so we're gonna test 4 different areas of the car with 4 different media types, and we're gonna see just how we're doing. And as you can see, we're in the shade here. We don't have our typical background. It's nice and quiet here. We don't have a ton of traffic there, but we don't have road film on the side of the car, because I cleaned this with the Geon and the Hero the other day, doing testing on that. But we have some pollen on the car, and we have from fallout on the top of the car, and from morning dew, you have a lot of that dirt on the horizontal surfaces there. So that's what we're gonna test it out on now. So hang out with me for a minute, and let's get going. Oh, and by the way, guys, my studio today is this chair here. So if you're old enough to know what this is, give me a shout out. Thanks for watching, and let's get to it, guys. All right, so we're at the car, and I want to show you something first, because when I mix this up, this foams. So a lot of other rinselesses don't foam, but check this out. If I just go like, if I take my sponge and just squeeze it out, look at how much foam this does. I mean, I've seen car wash soaps that don't foam like this. To me, that's just absolutely crazy. We have some dirt along here on the window. It's just really dusty. And on the roof here, I'm hoping that you can see the fallout. And the first thing that we're gonna try is we got our double flip towel, so we'll squeeze that out some. All right, it's still dripping, but let's see how this works. And doing this one-handed sucks. And I will say, on the surface, it feels fairly slick. In fact, I mean, I would say now I have a glove on, so, but I would say, in fact, look at that. I'm literally making suds with the glove, or yeah. Now, it does feel extremely slick on the surface. And let's flip this to one of the other sides. Even though the door panel really isn't all that dirty, we're gonna get our use out of the towel today. But as you can see, I mean, just flipping it, it made suds. But this is super, super slick on the surface. This feels like a normal soap wash, to be honest with you. If I had a sponge, in my opinion, this is exactly how it would feel. Now, even though it does that, what they say is that when you clean, in their instructions, they say when you get done cleaning a panel to dry it off immediately. So we have our, in fact, I tried this out in the Hero video. We got our G-Technic MF2 microfiber drying towel. And we're just gonna go across the door here. Now in the dry off here, it's not nearly as slick as it feels like on the sponge. In fact, the whole surface is still kind of grabby, and I think that may be a product of the towel because it even did that on the Hero test. But let's get into the behind the door pocket here. But it did not leave any streaking behind, and if I feel with my finger here, now this door is coated. It does not feel like the Geon, it does not feel super slick. To me, this kind of feels like the surface did when I used the Armor Detail Supply, the Hero. On the glass is a little bit slicker, but again, it's not slick like with the Geon, so it does not feel like it has SiO2. And it also, when you saw those suds, it doesn't feel like any suds or soap residue was left on the surface. Now what I want to do, in fact, let's go around really quick because we're going to test this in a minute. No, we're going to have to do it. All right, what we're going to do though is we're going to spray a little bit on here on the window on the glass. And I'm going to let it dry so that we can see, if you let it dry on the surface, how easy it is to remove. And let's just hope it doesn't do anything adverse to the glass there. So let's get to the next, let's get to the Duo, the plush towel that I wanted to try. All right, everybody, so I have the hood. As you can see, the hood is sprayed down. And I have my towel now. The plush towel that I had picked up from Autofiber, and we're just going to glide across the surface here. And what's nice about using a towel is that you get 8 sides when you fold it, unlike the 4 sides that you get when you're using, for example, that double flip. So it feels, again, pretty slick on the surface. The actual water behavior on the glove, it feels super slick to me. Now if I use just my finger here going over this, it does feel slick with the water on there. And I'm gonna overlap a little bit so that I could use my drying towel. In fact, I just did, as a test with this towel, I just did the windshield here and it's drying. And hopefully you can see some of this left over because the window's almost completely dry now. And in fact, our original glass that we had just sprayed all that stuff on, it's completely dried. You could see there's some streaks, hopefully, coming down here. So we're gonna take our drying towel and go over and see what happens with the product on the surface. Now, I see it's taking a little bit more effort to wipe off than some of those other products out there. But as I'm looking, it looks like it's wiped off pretty good. No, you know what, I take that back. It does look like it's leaving some type of film behind, because as I wipe, I could see some film being, wiped there in the sun. In fact, let's go back to the windshield here, and let's go to the low pile side on this towel and just go across here. And I am seeing roughly the same thing, in that where I could see the sun here, if I go over it with the towel, it's kind of leaving what I would call a little bit of smearing maybe, because I can go back over it with my finger and it kind of removes the remaining stuff that was there. So it is, and this is a clean towel. But it appears that there's, if you let it dry, in fact, maybe that's why they say dry each panel when you're done. And it is, I mean, it's super clean. But in the sun, I was able to see some type of, I guess, smear left over. And let's see now, because it's actually drying on the paint. So let me see how this behaves on the paint if I dry it. In fact, we're in the woods here, so a little bit, I have to remove that. Oh, I got ants crawling all over me here too. And on the paint here, it is a little bit harder to wipe off as it dried, because I was seeing, I had to go over it a couple times to actually get the, I don't know if that's polymer or whatever they have in there. It was a little bit harder to get off. Now if I just put this on here like this again, and it's still wet, and I take my towel and go over it, I don't see any, I'm not getting any of that streaking. I'm not getting any of that, what looks like there's product left behind on there, the rinseless. So when they say to wipe the panel off after you've done each panel with the wash, it seems like that is an accurate statement, that I wouldn't let this dry when you're using it. So anyway, let's get over to, let's see how it works with the sponges. We'll be right back. All right, so we have our hood wet down, and I just want to show you, we do have a bunch of dirt here. Hopefully you see that. So we'll spray that. This is the other half of the windshield, another half of the hood. And for this one, we're going to grab our, again, we're sudsing up, but we're going to grab our DIY Detail Legacy sponge. And there we go. Now this is a whole lot firmer than the Ultra Safe sponge that I usually use. This is a high quality sponge. I just don't particularly like the price, which, you know, I mean, that's all up to you, what you're willing to pay. But with this sponge, as with any other, no pressure. You just want to glide it across the surface. And I do notice that this one, with the sponge, it feels a little bit less slick than with the towel, but not much. But it seemed to clean everything, no issues. We'll rinse it out and do the windshield here. Squeeze it out. And you can see just from rinsing the sponge how much suds I made in that bucket. So we got our windshield. And it looks like it took off all that dirt, but let's double check here. Yeah, I don't see a line anymore from where that dirt was, so it appears that we were able to get all that dirt up. And then let's just check the drying now again. I'm sure you've seen this. But if I just go across, no issues whatsoever drying. All right, guys, so I wet down the back window here. We're gonna use and the rear deck lid. We're gonna use our Ultra Safe sponge. And we're gonna quickly hit the back window. And then flip and do half the deck lid here. And with this sponge, as with the other media products there that we used, it seems to glide pretty easily across the surface. No SiO2 in this. You could see by the water behavior, no SiO2. Now this is one of the things, as I mentioned before, that I don't like. All the suds. And this does dry out pretty quick, I will say, because I sprayed and I immediately started rinsing or washing. And I mean, it's drying pretty darn quick already. In fact, let me get a little bit more water because there we go. As you can see, I mean, just that little bit in the bucket, you know, just watching me rinse that out, like I have foam on the car now. And in the crack between the trunk and the rear quarter. So anyway, guys, that's how the Feynlab Rinseless V3 works. It seems to glide fairly easily on the surface. It dries, and as long as you don't let it dry on the surface, and that might be the one downfall of this product, if you do not let it dry on the surface, it wipes away very nice. Even the suds that were there, they wiped right off. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was informative for you. Again, Feynlab Rinseless V3. If you want to get your own, there'll be the product in the description below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, please. It really helps out the channel. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you and have a great day. Bye. You couldn't really see how dirty the car was, but I just wanted to show you. I have brown water in this bucket. I finished doing the whole car with, in fact, half the car or almost half the car was done with the flip towels or just the towel, and then half or a little bit more than half with the sponges here, the Legacy and the Ultra Safe. But I have literally just brown water in this bucket. So it was it's even dirtier than I thought it was. I didn't do the rims, didn't do the tires on the car. But if you want a polymer feel or an SiO2 feel, the Feynlab is not for you. If you want super cleaning ability, I would say the Pure Rinseless V3 here from Feynlab is an awesome choice. We're gonna have to test this more because I'm on the fence about those suds, the foaming, but it appears to be a fantastic rinseless product, especially if you're looking for something with just pure cleaning ability. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.